Hey everyone, Chad here from Team Meat in the Freezer. Today I'm going to talk to you all about venison jerky. So, if you're like me, and if you hunt and harvest animals, you've probably had this come up. Somebody finds out that you just harvested a deer from a picture you put on Facebook or talking to you or something like that. And they ask, oh, do you make venison jerky? Do you make venison jerky? Oh, it's so good. Oh, can I get some venison jerky from you? Well, if you've ever made this stuff before, I'm sure you understand, it does not grow on trees. And it's a very lengthy process to actually get, like a gallon baggie full of jerky. I mean, it's a lot of time, a lot of effort into getting that. And if you're like me, I don't like to give it away. Only to certain people, and they better have something to trade for it. So, I've kind of perfected this over the years. Just going to kind of go through real quick of what I do, general recipe, see if it can help you guys out. So, first things first, the meat. You gotta have meat. So, what I've done here is I harvested a couple deer last weekend. What I did, I just took the back hams and I carved out some nice pieces of meat. You want to make sure you get all the silver skin off and the fat and all that stuff. And you can sort through a back ham pretty quick and get some real nice chunks of meat. You want to make sure that you get them. I like to get them kind of nice and square, something like this, where it's real easy to, once you start actually cutting your jerky strips, it's real easy. Now, I don't have a meat slicer. I've never had one, I've used them. They're nice. But a little trick is you get your meat like this and you put it in the freezer, just on a pan, whatever you want. This stuff's been in the freezer for about 45 minutes, something like that, 45 minutes to an hour. And it gets that nice kind of firmness to it. And it's real easy to cut your nice equal chunks of meat for your jerky. If you just try and do it when the meat is not a little bit frozen, you're not going to get even chunks. It's going to be a pain. You're going to get irritated. But this is just a real quick and easy way to get all your chunks the same. So, we talked about the meat. So, as you can see, you get your nice chunk of meat here. Get a very sharp knife. Sharp knives always help out your situation. I like to cut my jerky maybe about an 1/8 inch thick or so. And you see when it's frozen like that, you can get your nice chunk of jerky. That looks delicious already. And you get you a bowl and you just keep going. Now your last chunk at the end can be kind of a pain to get at. Do a little chunk of fat there. I want to get that guy off there. What I'll do is you just come sideways on it like this. Go through it like that. Be very careful you don't cut yourself while doing this. You can separate that, and there you go. Now, this stuff's been trimmed pretty good, but what I like to do is I like to get some hams that I'm going to just make jerky out of. Because some of your best jerky meat is actually where you take the roasts out of. So if you're trying to carve roasts and do jerky, you're going to be here at the cutting table for quite some time getting your jerky the way you want it. It's going to be all different thicknesses and everything like that, and it's just not going to work out well for you. So what I like to do is carve out my jerky, and the rest of the stuff goes into my grind pile, which then obviously is made into burger or sausage or whatever you want to make it to. That way you don't have to worry about wasting a bunch of meat because you're trying to get every little last piece of the jerky and everything like that. So you saw it's very easy once it's been in the freezer for 45 minutes to an hour, your meat, to cut it up. So next thing, everybody has their own recipes, their own little secret, oh, I'd have to kill you if I told you recipes. Mine has been passed down from generation to generation. It's actually Joseph Lang, Team Meat in the Freezer. This was his grandmother's something recipe. I don't know. I keep mine right here on the fridge. You can see it's actually a very, very simple recipe. It's basically soy sauce, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, hickory smoked salt, Worcestershire sauce, and hickory liquid smoke. Now the key ingredient in this is the hickory smoked salt. It is not easy to find. You used to be able to buy it at Farm Fresh, but now the Farm Freshes have gone out of business. So if you're going to make some jerky and use this recipe, go ahead, plan ahead, get online, get on Amazon, order you some hickory smoked salt, and you'll be good to go. The rest of it you can find at any grocery store. Get it all done. So what you want to do is you take all your wet ingredients, which is your soy sauce, your Worcestershire sauce, and your liquid smoke. And I actually I put a little Texas Pete in there too. Not real spicy, just kind of add some flavor. And what you want to do, I always take all my wet ingredients and put them in one bowl. Make sure you get them mixed up good. Then I'll take all my dry ingredients and put them in whatever you got. I just got a little glass here. Put them all in there, get them mixed up like that. It's a lot easier to mix them separate if you dump them all in the same bowl. I don't think they mix right, and it just doesn't turn out as good. So, stand by. I'm going to get enough meat cut up here to put in a bag and get everything mixed up, and I'll show you the next step. Alright, we are back. Team meat in the freezer again with some venison jerky part 2. So, as you can see, I got all my meat cut up. Got her in a couple baggies here. It don't really take that long. Once you get it to nice square chunks all trimmed up and it's nice and firm, that's been in the freezer, it's very, very easy to turn it from chunks of meat into nice jerky strips. So what we got to do now is I let this sit for about 10-15 minutes and keep mixing it. So what happens is when you mix all of those the liquid with all of the dry ingredients, a lot of the dry ingredients stick to the outside, and I just don't think that they all mix right away. You need a little bit of time to absorb in. Otherwise, all the good stuff is going to be alongside of your bowl and never make it into the bags so it can season your meat. So again, if you didn't catch it the first time, jerky recipe, very easy. 1/4 cup soy sauce, 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon onion powder, 1 tablespoon hickory smoked salt, 2 tablespoons hickory liquid smoke, and a cup of Worcestershire sauce. Now I doubled this recipe because I knew that, just from experience, I was going to have more meat than I needed for one batch, because that's per pound roughly of meat. To me, you want to have more marinated, not less marinated. You definitely want to be able to coat all the meat. And don't try and stuff it all into one bag. Gallon bags are cheap. If you try and put this all in one bag, what would happen is some of the marinade would never get to the meat in the center of the bag. And not like it's not going to be good, it's just not going to be as good as if you separated it and the marinade all soaked in, everything like that. So, you got your bags of meat here. It's mixed up. We'll go and find a little mix around there. You're going to dump it into each bag. Now this is not a science, folks. Just get close on splitting your marinade. If I hear my dog walking around whining, she always gets excited when it comes time to cut up some meat. She's hoping I drop something so she can get a little something for herself. Also, what I'll do here is I'm just going to put a little bit of water back in my bowl. I mean, so ultimately all that stuff's going to soak in. What you can do with this water is you kind of get some of the seasonings off the side of the bowl, because I don't care what you do, you're never going to get all the seasonings in there like you want. Just a little bit of water, just to add a little bit more liquid. There's a bunch of seasonings. I didn't drop anything, Cassie. I didn't drop anything. So then what you're going to do, partly set up your bag here like that. Squeeze all the air out of Now if you really wanted to get particular with this, you could vacuum seal it. But I've never felt that you need to go to that point. Now I like bags versus like a big bowl, something like that, because one, they take up less space in your fridge, and they're a lot easier to just kind of massage your meat around. So what you want to do, see all this meat right here, just kind of want to give her a little go around, because some of that meat's, you know, kind of folded in half, some isn't. You want to make sure you get it all of the meat. You want to make sure every little piece gets its share of the marinade. So there, I got one bag right there. So now the next question is, how long do you let it marinate for? So, general rule of thumb for me is about 24 hours. But what you can do to kind of give you a little bit of a timer or something like that to let you know how long it's going to marinate, I like to let it sit until the meat soaks up all the liquid, which usually is about a day, maybe a little bit longer than that. And then what I'll do is, you know, this is going to go in the fridge. When I get up in the morning, grab a little breakfast out of there, get ready to make coffee, I'll take it out, kind of, you know, massage it, move it around, everything like that. See how it's doing, you know, move it around. And when you get home tomorrow night, kind of do the same thing, kind of assess where I'm at with the meat soaking up all the liquid. And then we'll go from there. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to walk you guys through the whole dehydrating process because I've been working 12-hour days. You know, the Navy's keeping me really busy. We're getting geared up for deployment. So actually, a friend of mine talked me into, hey, if you get it all ready for me this weekend, I run an in-home daycare. I'm home all day. I'll dehydrate it for you. Just kick me a bag. Sounds like a good deal to me. Because dehydrating it depends on how thick you cut it and really how crispy you like your jerky. It can take anywhere from 4 to 8 hours to just get one dehydrator fully done of jerky. Because you have to babysit it. You know, once you put it on, you stack all your trays up, you plug it in, you know, 3 hours you can kind of ignore it. After that, you got to be checking that stuff every like half hour. Because what's going to happen is no matter how hard you try, you're going to get some that's thicker than others. And you're going to have to, you know, start taking stuff off, dropping trays, you know, and, you know, getting your dehydrator back down to that last couple trays of stuff that's done. Now this, I can tell you right now, is going to probably be about 2 dehydrator loads full of jerky. So it's probably going to take a couple days to dehydrate, depending on how early she starts and how late she gets done. Something like that. Now, when you're dehydrating it, I don't like stuff that's going to rip out a tooth or something like that. You got to get your piece of jerky. So what you want to do, you want to watch it when you're dehydrating it. You'll see after time, you kind of look at it, and when you grab a piece and it kind of just breaks apart just a little bit, you know, it may feel kind of soft and it may to you feel like it's not done yet. But it is. When you see it kind of just break apart a little bit, when you crack it, it's done. Take it out, let it cool down, and it'll be great. I mean, if for some reason you think it cools down, you take a bite of it and you still think it's not done, put it back in the dehydrator and let it go for a little bit longer. So there's jerky, from start not to finish, but the last part I think is probably the easiest part. I'm just sitting there, you know, letting it dehydrate. You know, if you got some time, everything like that, you know, get yourself a tasty beverage. You know, when you have some time, maybe on a weekend or something like that, definitely don't get home from work and think you're going to dehydrate some jerky, because you are going to be up till all the hours of the night and get no sleep. You'll have some good jerky, but you're not going to get any sleep. So, there we have it, meat in the freezer, just one of the things we do. stay tuned for further videos. We're gonna have a lot more little tips, cooking tricks, stuff like that, stuff we do. Because if you're following us along, you know, we tend to kill quite a few animals every year, and we have a lot of meat that we put in our freezers, hence the name. So you need something to do with it. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for further videos. Check out all our videos. You know, definitely follow us on Facebook, and come along with us this fall. God bless. Stay safe. Shoot straight.